let me just introduce you what the Meghalya model is all about and why it was important for us to actually take this model forward. Normally, when a rescue operation takes place anywhere in India, there are partner NGOs or partner networking partners who network with us or who inform our organization that there are children from the Northeast who have been rescued. Very often, many of these girls from the Northeast are being kept in the different homes in India and they have never been restored back to their own states. But the process of 5 years that we worked with these partners had enabled us to become the focal point for restoring these girls back in the other state in the Northeast. What we normally do is, after we receive an intimation from our partners, which also include family members sometimes, we look at the case file which has been given by the Child Welfare Committee of that particular state. Then we send a consent letter to the Child Welfare Committee where we show the willingness that we are willing to locate the family of the child who have been rescued. After we get more information about the child, what we normally do is, the immediate action that we take up is to bring back the girl to Meghalaya, because it is very difficult to just take the rescued girl to any part of the Northeast unless we locate the actual family. The networking with Social Welfare Department of Meghalaya is that the observation home has been used as a shelter home for these girls over the period of 5 years now. Any girl from the Northeast, they are being kept there at least for a minimum of 3 months, where our counselors would counsel these girls to find out more information so that the coordinator find it easier to locate the family with the help of the partner organization of that particular state. We also have a lot of paper formalities that we undertake with the help of the legal advisor that we have in the organization. And when these girls are being sent to the Department of Social Welfare as a shelter home, we also have a sort of a MOU that we normally do with social welfare. We intimate the director, the superintendent of the home, and then a counselor from our NGO would go down to sit with the girl on a daily basis. Now, after we do that, is the information received from the particular girl, we send it back to the partner organization in the respective state, but we take a lot of help, for instance, from the enforcement of that particular state in locating the family. Now, after finding out the family, we also look in terms whether the family is willing to take the girl back or not, whether they are in a position to actually accept her back economically or also in the term of social or mental. If the girl is willing to go back, then we hand over the girl to the family with all the legal formalities, and where the police department of that particular state is also being intimated through a formal letter. But in case if the girl doesn't want to go back, then what we do, we normally network with other organizations to give them some rehabilitation program or vocational training, and this process is being intimated back to the Child Welfare Committee and the Juvenile Justice Home of the particular state where the girl has been rescued. But we also send a process sort of a case assessment so that they have a record on where the girl is, how is she, and whether the family has accepted her or not. This is a simultaneous process that we work with the enforcement. One, we start recording the information of these children and we put it into a data bank, informal hard copies, and we've also introduced a software where we put it in soft copies and we give it to the police of the state as well as that particular state from where the girl comes from. That is basically to build in the record system of a particular state, because it's very essential when the police has to give on the crime record of the year. If they do not have the information, and if the information only remains with an NGO, then definitely the case statistic will never be able to appear in the state. We also do one is, we normally work with the media at a very, very close contact, where we educate the media to constantly write about the issue. Why we do that about the missing children is basically creating a mass awareness so that many of the children who are missing can also come up to file FIR. Now, when we get cases, which is also not only from the partner organization, but from the parents or from the relatives, what we do, we send this information to our outside partners in India, Action Against Trafficking and Sexual Exploitation. Why do we send this information to them? We send so that they, in collaboration, would work with the enforcement of that state to speed up the effect of looking or searching for the girl. In fact, we have an interesting case this time that our AdSec partner from Bihar, with the help of the law enforcement of that particular state and the enforcement in Meghalaya, we could trace the child faster because the information input that the NGO has and the information that the enforcement has been used together to locate and trace the girl family. So this is the sort of networking process that we normally have. Now the second part is, we also insist on FIR, the filing of FIR. Why do we do that? Unless until we also prevent the traffickers from trafficking more girls. I mean, if we do not file FIR, then definitely we are just doing one work where we're only rescuing girls, but we're not actually putting the traffickers behind bars. So we normally used to assist the family members, or we counsel the girl that they need to file FIR so that the traffickers also will go behind bars. Now the other part is that there's a use of web alert. Now Meghalaya Police has a website where we are on the process at the moment to build a link point to our website where all the missing children or the human trafficking cases will be linked directly. This is basically to speed up the process. At the same time, since as an NGO we have very less human resources and manpower, it's very difficult to reach out every day with a document, but the internet is one aspect that can speed up the whole process of information sharing. This is how Meghalaya process is, but side by side, the Meghalaya Police has had a constant training, because without that, it becomes very difficult for the enforcement to also understand how an NGO works and what are the ways that an NGO can work. So this is what the Meghalya model is, in brief, and this is where we have introduced in all the 8 states. And I'm glad that many of the states have shown a very positive approach towards this, and we look forward that there are many other needs that have come up in every state. There are many issues that has come up. There are many dynamic issues in terms of cross-border issues. There are many issues like Manipur, which is a little peculiar than the other state. So we felt that this regional consultation that we have here today will bring up all this process, which is already in the report, which is already documented. It will be something which we can think about. What is the need now? How we go about it, and what could we be doing it? So this is what the entire process is. Thank you very much.